How much time do we have, Sue?
We can get one more question, then we've got to wrap. We've got to kick off the experiment.
Okay, and I know that people have obviously watching the time. Anyone else with a final question for Joseph?
Hi there, my name is Marie. Oh, sorry.
I'm Marie.
Hi, and I actually have a comment to the question about the banking. I'm from the U.S., as you can tell from my accent, and I work closely with financial institutions, and most of them were my clients. Half of them are now gone. But previous to the financial crisis, I worked with a very unique company called Commerce Bank, and they were ingenious at changing the banking model into a more retail model and customer focused. They listened to what their clients had to say and pretty much opened their banks on a Sunday. They had a greeter at the front door to greet their customers as they walked in. They did something very innovative by having a coin machine. And then going back to your concept of conversation and word of mouth, they had a coin machine, sort of like a jukebox, where everyone would take their extra coins and bring them in exchange of cash. So they created a program for kids to come into the store, save all their pennies, put it into this jukebox type machine, and get money out of it, put it into a little savings account. So they did some really innovative things and went from 3 or 4 local banks in New Jersey to about 40 branches throughout the East Coast through this retail concept. They didn't call themselves banks, they said we're a retail center. Opened up the branches on a Sunday and just did some huge innovative things, and I worked on their marketing program with them back in the States. So again, we saw them taking share from the city banks and all of the major staple organizations in the New York City area as well. So there are a lot of innovative things that can be done in the banking areas as well, and I think it's a perfect example of word of mouth. The company's called Commerce Bank. They've since been taken over by a large bank 2 or 3 years ago, but they're an excellent case study to look at. Over 3 or 4 years, they've accomplished all this.
Right, and we have one. We have a local one as well. We feel that experience still, perhaps maybe not as pure as it was a few years ago. Just a couple of but again, you know, going back to banks, I mean, Commerce Bank is a great example. Think about Bank of America, which I think is the single largest bank now in the U.S. The Bank of Opportunity. What they do is they tell people about the opportunity. They create these over-the-top commercials with hyperbole and exaggeration. But when you walk into the Bank of Opportunity and try and get a loan, good luck to you, buddy, because you're going out probably, you know, the side door or the back door. So there is a disconnect between what I think marketers or what brands say and what they do. And I think that's kind of, you know, let's bring it back to something that's very real. If there is no gap and no difference between what we say and what we do, then we're in a good place. If we can underpromise and overdeliver, we're in a good place. If we can create people or give people reasons to share and people to talk and surprise and delight them, we win. A lot of this stuff is fundamental. What isn't fundamental, though, are, I think, recognizing which tools we have at our disposal. And, you know, one of the products we have at my company, Crayon, is we call it commitment to conversation. So if I can give you guys just one tip, a little bit of advice is go back to your, you know, to your offices, and after you've become my fake friend on Facebook, go and set up some Google alerts or Yahoo alerts, keyword alerts. Make sure that every single time somebody mentions your name, I'm talking about your actual name, first name, last name, and then you can go into your brands and some of your campaigns. You know about it the moment that they pretty much hit the publish button or the print button or whatever the case may be. The thing about conversation is if you don't even know what's going on, you may have survived and thrived on the axiom that ignorance is bliss, but you can't run and you can't hide anymore. And I think the first part or first, you know, bit of action is to be aware and be alert, and therefore be in a position to actually do something about it.
Joseph, thank you very much. We're going to have to leave you there and let you get back to your holiday. On behalf of everyone that's been here listening, it was a fantastic address. So you've established an emotional connection with us. You've earned our trust. So, beginning not just with a conversation, but also truth and reconciliation, admit to everyone in the room that you poisoned our hamburgers in 1995, please.
You know what, I personally poisoned them. So I apologize for that. But remember, at the end of the day, we love our sport, and we can stand united together, knowing that we have both cricket and rugby superiority over the Aussies.
Yes, and that does bring us together. Joseph, thank you very, very much.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Well, I personally feel very privileged to hear from both Joseph and Andy. I mean, they are experts in their field, and I think they've given us some really good insights into word of mouth. And Martin, just a big thank you to yourself as well for stepping at the last minute. You did a fantastic Mariana. So,
white coloured pigment.
So now, just before we all go, I want to wrap by actually officially launching the first global word-of-mouth marketing experiment. Now, some marketing association staff and some Village Square associates are going to be handing you out some books that has an invitation in there to ask you if you'd like to participate in this word-of-mouth marketing experiment that's sponsored by the Village Square. It is a world first. It's a world. Hopefully, it's a first, not fast. It's a world first, as I said. And in the letter, it does actually explain all the logistics of the experiment itself. It does give you an opportunity to experience firsthand the principles the speakers were talking about. So, and you'll see in the book, this is talkers, topics, tracking, taking part, and tools. 5 T's in marketing. Sounds a bit corny, but there you go. These are really important themes throughout this book. You will see it's a very easy book to read, so I don't think anybody will find it too cumbersome. It's also going to be really fascinating to learn how these concepts actually spread and how fast within our own business community, and then the business communities, how we compare those to international business communities, which is really good. So as I said, the books are being handed out right now. Please pass your business cards to the people handing out the books at the same time. And I think Craig's got a little bowl there because Communicators, our event sponsor, has got a few little prizes they'd like to give out before you leave. Yeah.
Just very quickly, the area where you sign on, so all the books are going to be tracked. They're going to move all over the world.
Yeah, we're going to be covering that.
Yeah.
Cool. Thank you, Jane. As I said before, the letter does explain the logistics, but basically, we're asking you if you could read the book. As I said before, it's an easy read. You'll be able to then log your book along with your views onto the website, or by just emailing us, simply emailing us. Again, the details are on the letter. So you can jump on the website and you can log your book. There's a number in your book. You can then track your book, so you can see how it spreads, and you can compare that and see whether it stays locally, goes internationally, etc. So the website does have all those details in there, and the password to that website is in your book. Once you've read the book and you've gone and logged your details, we're asking you to pass that book on. Okay, so all we say is read it and pass it on, please. And just make sure you jump on the website, send us an email, and log the details. It really is that simple, this experiment, and you will see how word of mouth spreads through this book. What it doesn't actually say in your book and in your letter is that there will be winners and losers here. They are going to be assigning points to books. So, and this is a way of us actually tracking which books go where, etc. So there's going to be sort of 10 points as it passes from one person to another, extra points for when a review or a new case study is submitted, etc. So yeah, there are going to be winners and losers. So we see this as a global experiment. Marketing associations globally are going to be repeating this experiment, and you're going to be able to track all that.